CQRA. Quality never costs, it pays.
I welcome our listeners to CQRA podcasts. This is Shruti Hussain, Executive Editor at CQRA Content and Media.
Today we have Mr. Shyamal Palit, who is with us here at CQRA Podcast. Welcome to the podcast, sir.
Thank you.
I have this wonderful, introduction, and I'm going to quickly introduce you for the benefit of our viewers. Today we are joined by a highly accomplished professional in the real estate and construction industry, Mr. Shyamal Palit. With an impressive career spanning over 35 years, Mr. Shyamal has held key leadership roles in major companies. Currently, as Senior Vice President of Operations at Ashiana Housing Ltd, he is responsible for overseeing engineering, planning, construction, and more, and contributing to the company's well-known developments in affordable housing and senior living spaces. Before joining Ashiana, Mr. Palit has played an integral role in the construction of large-scale projects such as the 3,200 megawatt oil-fired power plant in Kuwait during his time with Hyundai Engineering and Construction. With a degree in civil, his extensive experience ranges from real estate development in India to complex engineering projects abroad. That is really an impressive resume, sir, and I once again welcome you to CQRA Podcast.
Thank you.
We are really happy that you can join us here, and we have a whole range of questions. But something that really interests us is that Ashiana Housing is also working in sort of tier 2 cities. We know the situation in Indian metropolitan cities. There is construction sort of going on everywhere in all kinds of spheres. So be it industrial, residential, infrastructure, metro projects. But what is the situation in tier 2 cities?
Well, our target audience was basically, we had certain area configuration that where we will be working. It's not exactly metropolis or tier 2 kind of. It was the area where we will be working. These are going to be satellite township to the metropolis, or the areas where we had certain criteria like population has to be so and so. Like I'm forgetting the numbers. So in these. On these criteria, you can always say that those cities are the tier 2 cities. I think the requirement in these days of real estate has gone down not only to tier 2 or even tier 3 cities as well. So a requirement of real estate, requirement of housing is everywhere. So in these days, these cities, these townships are also doing very well. You'd be knowing that. So I think all the companies or all the quality companies are doing well in this sector as well.
All right. And how important do you think is third-party inspections when it comes to especially the housing sector? And how do you sort of balance at Ashiana Housing, the third-party agencies for auditing of construction safety and quality? Could you elaborate and tell us a little more about that?
Well, in Ashiana, actually, so far we used to do almost everything in-house. Like in the execution, we don't have specific departments for the quality control, for the planning, for estimation, so it's one department. It's the engineering department, and we have been doing this construction under this department only. And we do all such things like planning, execution, quality control, estimation, cost control, everything in house. Now it is probably standard for everybody that when you do something, then at times there is a possibility that you would be missing out something, or you will not know even. So if you have third eyes who can come and check those things, then they can always pinpoint us that these are the areas where you are probably missing out, or you have opportunities to improve upon. So many times you will find that I am doing something, but probably I will not be the right person to go and check and find if there is anything where we need improvement. And there is another third parties, they would have exposure into the markets. And since we are doing everything in-house, there's a possibility that some developments are happening probably across the market, and we are probably not as much exposed to that. So if third parties are inside the house, then you will come to know through them that these are the developments happening at the project, and you will be able to improve upon.
Right.
Yeah, so we do appreciate. I think so far the kind of experience we had, particularly with CQRA for the audit, right from there, and after CQRA's induction, I think there are a lot of improvement has started happening within the system. So we do appreciate that, and the good part is our audience, our internal stakeholders, our engineers, our manpower, they had well accepted these third-party recommendations, third-party inspections. Yeah,
That's actually a very important point, that you've made, that third-party agencies would know about industry trends that, in-house sort of the management or in-house staff that may not know. And also for your in-house staff to accept the third-party agencies and their interventions and to take it in a positive sense. So all that is also, I believe, a kind of a positive step. And you also mentioned that you kind of do all these activities in-house. You have sort of construction management, designing. So what are the kind of advantages or the challenges in doing that when you have everything, at that in-house level?
Well, for the designing, we hire consultant. So it's not exactly in-house. So we'd have architects, we'd have interior designer, we'd have landscape architect, we have structural engineer, we have MEP consultants. All are individual experts from market. We hire their expertise, and they do design according to our basic requirements of the product that you would like to probably develop in the market. So this is what the external part. Now in the internal part, when you do all these things, then on the table stage, you know that whether you are complying all the requirements that into the design part that you probably envisaged when you conceived that project. So otherwise, if everything goes, the design part goes outside your office, then there is a possibility that some of the things probably you could omit, or you could skip, or you could overlook. And secondly, the costing part. That any project's costing largely depends on design. So if your design is more efficient, then your project's cost also is going to be effective. Of course, all these other costing, execution, and wastage control are also very important. But incorporating some of the cost-efficient things into the design is very, very important. And doing all these things in-house, probably we could eliminate all those wastages. And in the execution part also, we see that there are different market challenges. So if you are on top of this, then you know every time that what is happening, and accordingly you can set your execution things on the ground. So that's the advantage probably we have been enjoying so far. Yeah.
All right. You very pertinently mentioned cost of construction, its relation to design, and also here I want to bring in the time factor and also quality. So there's always a tussle between maintaining the balancing cost, the quality of construction, and also the speed, and getting this sort of balance right. So how do you kind of manage this, or what have you seen in your kind of throughout your career? How does this balance get maintained?
Well, this is one of our most important brand promise in Ashiana is delivering on time. So to deliver on time, there are three part. One is cost, one is quality, and another is time. So when you set your specifications and right kind of estimations, then you know that what is going to be your cost of execution, cost of development. And there would be some market escalations, which is very, very dynamic. You don't have too much input or too much control into this part. But whatever the escalations or market dynamics, if it is limited up to that extent only, then you are okay with this, with the costing part. So in the costing part, most important part is what are the specifications, and whether you can you are controlling the wastages. Wastages in materials, wastages in workers, wastages in manpower, because manpower is also a very costly resources. So if you can control all those wastages, this is a very important criteria. Now, for timing, we prepare all the planning at the beginning, and once we know that we are ready for construction, then only we start construction. That means that when you launch a project, then at that time there are certain criteria which has to be fulfilled, and then only we start our construction. And once we start construction, generally we don't stop, because that means our fund for project execution and all other things are almost finalized at this initial stage. That's why there are very I would say that there was not an example or not a single example probably within the company that due to fund crisis we had to stop our construction. So these are generally planned, and thereafter, if all the resources and other things are planned correctly, and then you can always achieve your timeline. So that has to be realistic. Real-time planning has to be realistic, and every pace, everything has to be planned well. And that's how we have been achieving those timeline. We never became faltered largely. As far as the cost is concerned, this wastage control, I think we have certain mechanisms within the system. All this is a consumption mechanism, and if your execution is at par your planning, then generally your manpower is also best utilized. So these are multiple criteria which are to be taken care at simultaneously. Then your project is generally successful. So so far we could maintain all these things very well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing actually that you said that your company has not kind of stopped any project because of a cash crunch, or that's actually something quite heartening to note in that sense. The next thing I wanted to ask you is, when we go around metros or even when we see in the media, there is this onslaught of just developers looking at developing properties aimed at the very HNI sort of, high net worth individuals. So everybody's talking about luxury or luxurious apartments and things like that. So the mid segment is not really thought about, or the other kind of segments in society that also need housing and other sorts of needs. So Ashiana is also looking at the mid segment. You're also looking at senior living, and what is probably setting this a little apart is you're also looking at the maintenance of the entire property after the construction. So how does that sort of work in terms of connecting with your customers and some kind of creating a brand value? How has that model worked, and how do you manage that sort of a thing?
Well, so you asked actually multiple things, multiple questions. One is maintenance. So we have been maintaining our project, and this is another of our brand promise. We have 3 brand promises. One is delivery on time, and another is what you see, what you get. That means whatever you commit, you fulfill. And third is forever care. Forever care means we need to take care of our stakeholders, our customers, forever. So maintenance comes under this forever care. So when you develop a project, then you are giving this assurance to your customers that we are going to look after your project. The project that you are owning, we'll be here to look after that. So if you have any problems, then we are here. We'll look after that. And we have been doing this year after year, decade after decade. So, and that's why probably our majority of our chunk, majority of our properties are sold through references, customer references.
Okay.
So this is one area we have been doing. We are putting our energies more and more, and we are ready to put our energies more and more in the coming days also. And this is what we are probably the best service that we can provide it to our customers. So this is one area we'll never be tired of doing that. We'll keep on doing this. So this is the maintenance part, and this is our best customer base also. We are getting business also through them, and whatever we are in the market, this has come through those customers only. So this is one of our strength also, we can say. About the meat segment, when our company started working at that time itself, there was a certain audience we have targeted. That these are the people for which we'll be developing our projects, and we are working only in the housing sector. We don't do any other things. No multiplex, no commercial, no the blah blah anything. We only into the housing. And in housing things, sometime back we had certain criteria like a person who is earning so and so kind of thing will be developing projects for them. This is it's not middle income group. It's an audience, a particular audience. That audience might be different in terms of their earnings. Geographically, they could be different. So in one city, our audience could be he is probably earning 1 lakh rupees a month, and in another location probably this our audience is who is earning probably 1.5 or 2 lakh rupees a month. So this is a particular audience for whom we are developing our projects. We are not into the luxury segment. It's like multi-crore rupees project. We are flat. We are not working into this area. We have targeted audience. We are developing projects for them only. Senior living is a different altogether. It's this doesn't come into this segment. Senior living is it was designed that when you become senior, then you should start living your life. You should start enjoying your life, and that was the purpose. So there was certain examples in our project that a lady she entered into the project in a wheelchair, and after a year or two she participated in a dance program within the project. So our purpose was that you should start living. You should be active. Your life should be active. It's not that you retired from your normal usual profession, then you start you are waiting for your last day. So that was the concept of the senior living, and there also we are targeting people of some segment. It's not again very very highly or luxurious kind of, but there I think it's not that. So some of the facilities were what would be required maybe for every human being. It's whether it is a poor, I mean, someone from the middle income group or some of the high income group. Some of the facilities actually everybody wants. So starting from those facilities, we are creating some other facilities which are required for senior people.
Okay.
So that is one area. Consistently, we are for the probably last 6-7 years or 8 years, we are on top according to some and here also we have been putting our energies, and in the coming days also we'd like to put our energies into developing better senior living housing.
That's actually really great to hear. So you could say that good quality maintenance, after the construction is done, is actually impacted a big way in terms of sales, in terms of customer satisfaction. Is that what you would say, right?
This is important, for everybody. When you buy a flat and living in the flat now, if this flat doesn't look fresh after some time, then you feel like devalued. So keeping everything fresh, this is what actually good maintenance is. So,
actually, yes, that's quite interesting to note. Yeah, keeping everything fresh. In fact, when the customer comes to actually see the property, you have properties and construction sites all over the country. So how do you sort of manage health, safety, environment, quality standards all across? How easy, how difficult do you have a system, technology, in place to have all your standards set?
Well, they are actually, this is a culture, process, procedures, and people. They actually contribute. So we understood, we realized that people are here very important resources. So we have tried to nurture our people, give growth to our people, so that they can carry your culture, your process, procedures to different locations. So when you go outside, let's say in another city, what is your requirement? Your requirement is the kind of work you do, the kind of atmosphere you maintain within the project, the way you are serving your people, your customers. It should remain same and improve upon day by day. And this can be implemented. This can be sustained only through good people, homegrown people. So this is one area where we emphasized a lot. That's why you will find that a lot of people in Ashiana has been working for many years. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You find a lot of people have been working, and they are the messenger. They are the people who is carrying actually your cultural things, your process procedures, your customer-centric sentiments. And about quality, safety, and other construction principles. So these are, again, other than people, there are certain process procedures we developed and we implemented those things. So these are almost non-negotiable. So if we have certain process procedures which are implemented, let's say our older station like Bhiwadi, Jaipur, and Jamshedpur, if you start in Mumbai or Pune or Chennai or wherever, those process procedures are non-negotiable. This has to be implemented on the ground rightly. That's where you need your older people and also train people correctly so that they can implement and they can go along with this. So I think being emotionally attached to those process procedures and cultural ingredients made us going good actually into this area.
Okay, that's lovely to note actually that culture plays such a integral part in an organization's growth. So even as a leader, when you in your capacity from Ashiana or otherwise have to go and create new markets in the country and look at other strategies. So are these things that you take along to expand your footprint, the culture, and also
Yes.
all right. And sir, I also wanted to kind of ask you that what are the sort of, how can poor quality or, poor quality maintenance affect the long term costs for a developer? So when you don't maintain your quality in the right way, what are the, real life implications, the real time implications that you can have, and what have you kind of seen in your journey to tell us more about that?
This building construction, these are the basic ingredients of building construction are some of the raw materials, which are very prone to get spoiled, very prone to get damaged if you don't maintain this correctly. So your cement products, your steel products, your otherwise this natural material related products, all these products are basically prone to get spoiled over a period of time if you don't maintain. So this is one principle. Now, when you do maintenance, let's say you have a CPs, and CPs can happen for different engineering reasons also. Even if you do a good quality construction, thereafter also there could be some CPAs, because in engineering structure, when you design, then in that case you have certain assumptions into the design. So in that assumptions itself, you have accommodated some of the principles, and those principles could be reason for CPAs. So if you have CPAs and if you don't rectify these, that means water will be flowing inside the building, and water itself is good enough to destroy those things basically. So if you don't maintain, if you don't do corrective actions, then all these things can continue happening, and thereafter there could be a catastrophe. There could be a big mess actually into the system. That's why maintenance is so important, and that's why it is important to start target or maybe hit this part in the beginning only. So when you see a seepage, when you see a corrosion, you see some problem, then immediately it has to be. So even in maintenance in your household also, you'll find that if you don't put maybe dusting and other things, if you don't do regularly, then at some point of time you'll find these things are getting really corroded or getting it's the same thing. So that's why maintenance is very, very important. Whenever you find any building, maybe after 5 years or 7 years, this building is substantial damage is happening, it means that it's not probably the design factor. It's not probably due to bad quality construction, because if it is bad quality construction, then the building will not probably sustain 5 years, 10 years kind of. After 10 years, if you find something that means your maintenance is not doing well. It is not properly maintained. So that's why maintaining. Someone is. I mean, we don't buy a property for a year or for two actually. We buy a property for decades, for your generations actually. So to keep this intact, to keep this fresher, maintenance is very, very important. Yeah.
It was a really lovely talk, very insightful, where you've actually touched a lot upon and given us a very deep insight into the importance of maintenance, in a building, and also about the work culture, carrying that forward, and how that also kind of takes, the company and the entire organization ahead. So thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us today and being with us here on CQRA podcast. And we are really honored to sort of have you.
Thank you so much.